Advancing technology has always changed how things are done, whether it's cars in a factory, computers, or books and literature. And it's that last one that I want to talk about right now. With how quickly AI is advancing, a legitimate question, a legitimate discussion is anything really going to be original anymore? Can somebody that uses AI in their creative process really claim to be an original author that can own their work? I've seen people get incredibly heated on this issue, but I think what it comes down to is we need to determine what we agree on, generally speaking, when it comes to ownership, authorship, and originality whenever you're using AI in any part of your creative process. So when it comes to ownership, if somebody uses AI to help them draft a specific chapter, help them critique a scene and they can take the role of an editor, or write the whole book for them, make the whole creative work for them, I would argue that they're still the owner of that work. Hear me out. Ghostwriters are a thing. We have ghostwriters right now. It is a contractual obligation that people that want to write, that want to create works that are inspired by other people, work with others to do their work and accept some of the rewards, accept some buyout, to maintain anonymity, to avoid the notoriety in the press and the public. And that's a perfectly legitimate form of business. If you think that is a legitimate form of business, then I think that principally, so is using AI in your creative process. At any step, to any degree, at any level, using AI, I think is perfectly acceptable as long as you're also okay with some authors and some creatives using ghostwriters, with some people contracting out parts of, or frankly, the entire work to be done, as long as they can accept that their name is put on the final product. If you disagree with that, if you don't think that ghostwriters should be a thing, that's interesting. Let me know down below, because I don't see why it shouldn't be a thing. And because of that, I don't see why using AI should really be controversial either. When it comes down to authoring a creative work, whether it's music, whether it's a movie, like with how Google Veo is working right now, it's making really good 8-second videos. With how ChatGPT and Claude can write, is the human actually the author, actually the creator in that instance? And I would again say yes. Again, hear me out please. I write books, but what I'm not doing is taking out a typewriter or a pen and paper and physically writing every single copy that is sold, whether it's paperback or hardback. I'm not typing up each individual file and then sending them to a specific person so they can read it on their Kindle, on their phone, or whatever they're reading on. I'm using tools and technology at some point to facilitate the work so that I can do it once and have it be done. Previously, other people have, again, contracted with others to help them format, edit, and proofread their books. They've had other people go through and touch up their stuff. They've talked with others to formulate their ideas and to better structure the stuff so they can have a more cohesive story and build a better narrative. And all of these things, yet again, are perfectly legitimate. And the point of that comes back to authorship in my mind is that all of that comes from the original author, the original creator. Tom Clancy would not be able to go, just using him as an example, wouldn't be able to go to others to work with video game studios to have them make Tom Clancy games. Advanced Warfighter and Splinter Cell wouldn't be a thing if Tom Clancy didn't have the original authorship, the original idea of Splinter Cell, of all of his books, of Rainbow Six. Take any other author though, any creative, any other director, any other screenwriter, whatever, any derivative works, any partnerships, all come down to the original author, the original creator, initiating that whole process. And that's exactly what's happening when somebody uses artificial intelligence. At any level and to any degree, again, AI isn't working autonomously just yet, at least not the publicly available versions, none that I'm aware of at least. So they're not writing novels on their own. They're not putting out screenplays and making movies on their own. There's no AI completely independent autonomous AI video game studio crafting narratives and building games and designing games and developing them, putting them out there. That's not happening, at least not yet. When that starts happening, sure, that's a different discussion. But for now, somebody that uses AI at some point in their creative process, again, to any degree, it's still waiting on that human involvement, on that human initiation. And that's why I think that those people are still the original authors. And this leads directly into the next point of originality. If you go to ChatGPT and say, I want to write this, or I want to do that, and I can't think of ideas, can you give me 10 prompts that might get my creativity going? Sure, the idea stemmed from ChatGPT in this instance, but again, it's waiting on your input. So it's still waiting on you. It still comes from you. You're using a tool that is available to you. And let's say you pick one, and again, let's just go crazy and say that this person goes through the entire process and just has ChatGPT, as an example, make the entire creative work. Is it original to that person? Because they retain authorship and ownership, and the tool is waiting on their input, yes, it is original to them. I would say so. I understand that's probably contentious. Please disagree with me in the comments. Bring your reasonable arguments. Flame me in the comments too if you want. Fine. But ownership, authorship, and originality, all three of these key things, those are, I think, the three key things that we need to consider and understand when it comes to whether or not people can be original and creative if they're using artificial intelligence, or if they should at least be considered original and creative. I think yes, because it's a tool, it's not operating autonomously just yet. You might say, however, artificial intelligence it goes around and steals a bunch of information, it steals a bunch of other people's creative works and just digests that. It's built on pirated stuff, it's influenced by a bunch of stolen material. I have a feeling that so are you. You have gotten things for free, you're getting this video for free. There are advertisements and it's not free, you're the product. Sure, fine, you're not paying anything for this video. Just like you have not paid for many other videos that I'm sure you've consumed, many songs, at least you haven't paid much, books, you go get them from the library. Sure, those are legitimate means of procuring them. Any software developer, it is incumbent upon them to employ good ethics. They need to be working ethically and properly in a way that is legal. They can't be stealing stuff. That is illegal. Theft is still illegal. I'm not saying that they don't unintentionally or even sometimes intentionally steal stuff to then have it be digested into their model and trained on it. Sure. I'm willing to bet that if you're anything like me, if you're anywhere near my age, which is 31, mind you, willing to bet you've used LimeWire before. Maybe you've gone on to Mediafire and other file sharing hosts, and you've downloaded stuff that may not have originally been intended to be given away for free. Does that mean that you can never be creative again? Does that mean that you should never do something with the information that you got from those sources ever again? No, absolutely not. And furthermore, even if you wanted to just avoid artificial intelligence now and forever, and you wanted to just stick into your bubble and be like, nope, this thing is influenced by too much stuff, I don't want to use it. Fine, you're influenced by stuff too. You've read books before, you've watched videos and movies before, you've heard songs before, you've heard other people be creative, and that's fine, that's good. You're supposed to do these things, and you're supposed to be influenced by other people. Other people and other things are supposed to inspire you, and that's what is the original creative human spark, that humans make things for other humans. We're not yet at the point that machines are making things for humans, and machines aren't making things for other machines. Creativity is a human endeavor, and even if we're using artificial intelligence as a tool, which it is right now, that is influenced by other people, just like humans are, that doesn't matter. All of this stuff is still original to people. But if it's doing all the work for you, you might also say that you're not really creating anything. So how are you really the author? And I get that. Again, this is a legitimate discussion to have. But the person that goes through and has ChatGPT write them an entire book, first off, you can use other models, like Claude, for example. You can give it a writing sample of how you want to sound, and it will pick that apart, and it is surprisingly good at mimicking your written voice, mimicking your tone and how you would say things and the vocabulary you would use. It is surprisingly good at mimicking a real person based on a given writing sample. So you can do that as an option to make it sound more human, but even still, you should go back through it and make sure that it sounds exactly how you want it to sound, and that it conveys the points and the themes that you want to convey. So even if you take a step back as the editor, it is still taking that human touch. And yet again, even if you forego that human touch of editing, even if you just say, nope, do it, type it, and then I'll just publish it, fine, it's still waiting on you. It's still the tool, not you, not quite yet. And lastly, a counter-argument that I would anticipate is that originality is compromised, which this I think might be the most fair critique and the hardest point to argue, but again, I still stand firmly in, no, it's not, but I understand the logic behind it. I understand at least common arguments for I understand the common arguments that originality is compromised, but the originality of the concept does not equal the assembly of the idea. You're still putting the idea together and putting that final stamp of approval, giving it that final human tone, ideally, that it is what you want it to be, that it is a human thing made by a human for other humans. So there's still that humanity on it. And at the very least, then somebody used AI as a tool, as we all do, as we all use software for tools, because again, technology advances and it changes entire economic and creative landscapes. It changes the world. Think of the Industrial Revolution, think of the cotton gin, think of the wheel. Technology advances, things change, it's weird, and then people adapt. But these are my opinions. These are some of the arguments that I think that I would be expecting against what I think. If you're using AI at any step in your creative process or for the entire thing, you're still the original creator. You retain full ownership, authorship, and originality of the ideas and whatever. That's my opinion. I understand that at least right now, I'm probably in the minority. That's what I'm anticipating. So if you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, let me know in a comment down below. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more if you like stuff like this, because I do in fact intend to keep voicing opinions like this and doing stuff like this. So thank you very much for watching. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it, especially if you've made it this far. I hope that I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.